Greetings and welcome to another edition of the Creation Corner with your host, David McNabb. Really glad you came on board this time. We've got a special guest. His name is Pastor Art Hisey. He's the director of Set Free Ministry in Paulden, Arizona, just north of Prescott. And Pastor Art, thank you for being here and giving me some of your time to talk about the ministry there that you're doing in Paulden.
Well, thanks for calling me and having me
All right,
show up on a Saturday.
Okay, now your ministry, I understand, is it's an outreach ministry that helps people who have been in addiction.
Yes, sir.
To get out of addiction, to control that, and to be in a Christian atmosphere and environment.
Yes, sir.
Okay, tell us about it.
Set Free was originally founded out in California by a guy named Phil Aguilar. And our philosophy, our pattern, whatever you want to call it, is give a brother a timeout from life. We've got a 60-day timeout where brother comes in, he lives on the property, he doesn't have to worry about where his next meal's coming from, he doesn't have to worry about paying his bills. All he's got to worry about is getting his faith grounded with God and solidifying his personal relationship with Christ.
Great. So it's all about helping them to do a couple of things. And one is just to get their addiction under control. Mm-hmm. And the other is to become a Christian if they're not already Christian.
That's right.
Right. And how do you work that? How does that work out? Tell us some of the stories about some of the people who come into this ministry.
Well, I can tell you from my own personal experience. I came through the Set Free Ministry program in Phoenix, Arizona, right off the street, not a believer, just looking for a place for my back to heal up so I could get back into the life that I was in, which is outlaw biker and drugs and all of that. But while I was there and exposed to the Bible study, and God started speaking to me through the Word. And it showed me that with all my past testimony, with all my past life, I have something to offer brothers to come out of the darkness.
Yeah. Who better to relate to that someone who's been there and come out of it. Exactly. And now is in a better place?
Exactly.
That's the person that people want to hear from.
Yeah. We are frontline ministry. We go. We don't just hang out in Paulden. We load up the vans. We come down to Prescott. We hand out lunches. We witness to the people on the street. We have contacts in county jail. If a brother doesn't have a place to go when he gets out, he's welcome to come stay at the pocket shelter out at the church property, and we'll build him up from there. Love him where he's at.
Do any of the judges actually send you people?
I haven't had a judge actually send anybody. It's mostly been word of mouth from brothers who have been violated and gone back into jail and said, "Hey, you're getting out. You should check these guys out. They're really, And it's just mostly word of mouth right now."
Okay, so the people that come to you is a totally voluntary basis. And what's the cost for being there?
It doesn't cost anything.
Who's supporting you?
Other churches.
Good. You got local churches that support you?
We do. We have Willow Hills and First Southern Baptist Chino and Prescott Valley are some of our main supporters. I'm a new church planter endorsed by the North American Mission Board of Southern Baptist, but it doesn't, that's a big thing for somebody just getting out of jail. We didn't have any money. I mean, they gave me a piece of paper. When I got out of prison, I had a piece of paper that said it was worth $50, and a worthless ID that they said wasn't any good to cash the check.
Wow. Tell us more about your own experience. I mean, you were in a biker world.
Yes, sir.
And what did you go to prison for?
Went to prison for theft of means and transportation, stolen motorcycle, and criminal simulation, which was I was I was trying to pass myself off as not Arthur Hisey.
Okay. And how long were you in prison?
2.5 years.
Okay. And did you come to Christ in prison?
I did not.
How did you come to Christ?
I came to Christ when I was doing favors for a motorcycle organization in Phoenix, or more specifically, some members of an organization.
Was that a Christian motorcycle?
No.
Okay.
No. It was an outlaw outfit.
Okay. Because there is a Christian motorcycle group.
There are 3 or 4 of them.
There's multiple groups.
Yes,
That's right.
Yes. The one I belong to is the Servants for Christ motorcycle ministry.
All right.
But I started questioning the bad things that I was doing in my life and where it was headed. And I went to the VA, as Army veteran, and the only answer they had for me was I was developing a guilty conscience. So
there's no spiritual counseling or guidance there at the VA?
They have a great chaplain corps, but for a non-believer like myself, we don't seek that out.
Yes.
Right. That's not something that, we have a stigma, a lot of us, that what we've done, we've heard all the Baptist pronouncements when we were children. If you sin, you're going to hell. The enemy uses that to blind us to the rest of the New Testament that talks about God's forgiveness with the repentant sin. When you repent from sin, you are forgiven, and he doesn't hold that against you anymore.
Okay, good. So you started reflecting on your life and lifestyle and the bad things that you had done, and then that made you realize what?
It just made me realize I wasn't in a good mindset to go back to the clubhouse and do favors. Yeah. So I was looking for a place to lay low and get my head together or whatever. And this guy had given me 2 bus passes if I promised to go to this other campus. It doesn't even exist anymore. So I went to that campus to fulfill my promise. And I had a pinched nerve in my lower back. I walked in with a crutch. And the first words out of their mouth is, "We can't help you if you're disabled. We're working only ministry." And a guy like me is like, "Look, I'm a journeyman electrician. I've never been homeless a day in my life. Unless you're going to tell me something that's going to help me, I'm going to go rob that liquor store. I'll go back to prison where I belong." And they told me about this place that hadn't been open long. It was over on 24th Street. Well, I was on McNabb bus heading east towards Scottsdale. I was already at 36th Street. I'm not a guy that goes back. My wife, I will leave my phone at the house. I will get in my car. I will go about my day and leave my phone at the house. I will not go back for anything.
Right.
So I was heading over to Scottsdale. I got back on the bus, heading east, and the bus got to 44th Street and turned around to go back west. And something turned on in my brain. It's like, hey, something's happening. You're supposed to be at 24th Street. So when I got to 24th Street, it's getting late in the day. I need a bunk, I started practicing all what I was going to tell these people. And they said, "Can I help you?" And I started talking about how I needed a place that, hold on, have you eaten today? Well, I had breakfast at the VA. Well, here's a cup. Why don't you go get some ice water? I'll make you some sandwiches. If you need a place to stay for the next 6 months, if you can handle for the first 60 days, we don't want you to do anything but be in Bible study and participate in church functions.
Great.
And it doesn't, and it's not going to cost you anything.
Right. And that's probably the one condition is you're not taking drugs when you're in here.
No.
Or drinking.
No.
So, well, it's nice that the guy, first he wants to take care of your physical needs.
Yeah.
Just make sure that you're okay there. And then we're going to look at your spiritual needs, and we're going to help you with that.
Yeah.
And that's what Set Free is all about, and which makes it an awesome Christian ministry.
Well.
And so how long were you there?
I haven't left.
Okay. All right. Now, how long?
I graduated the 6-month program. I got it when I began to commit myself to the ministry. I was going to put in motion for pastor school and stuff like that. I got hit with systemic lupus. It almost killed me. I was in a coma for 3 weeks.
Is there a cure for that? Because I haven't heard of a cure.
No.
But you got better from that.
Yes. I am one of the few people that has ever survived an attack of lupus of that level. And they actually used my case to teach rheumatology doctors at Phoenix VA.
Wow. Now, do you consider that a miracle?
I'm a walking, talking miracle, absolutely.
Wow. Okay, and Pastor Art, now how long then, you were in the program, how long did it take for you to become a Christian? Give your heart to Jesus?
3 weeks.
Okay. And
I came across 2 Timothy chapter 3, verses 1 through 8, and God convicted me with that scripture.
Great. And when did you decide you wanted to become a pastor and actually run a facility?
I never wanted to be a pastor. I just wanted to be a guy in the background helping people.
Okay. But you got a lot of good training in the Bible while you were there, a lot of good Bible study, and you learned a lot, and you became qualified to be a pastor and to lead others into the right way.
Yes, sir. And I've actually had the opportunity to, my good friend Justin, who now lives in Spokane, Washington, he came to us directly from the Department of Corrections in Arizona. Came straight out of prison.
Okay.
Came to us, completed the program. While he was in program, God reintroduced him to his family, his children, and he is now a pastor in Washington and father and everything that God intended us men to be as the heads of household. Leonard, my friend Leonard, he was on the fence when he came to Set Free, and when he told his ex-wife that he wasn't going to send in any child support because he was going to take this period of time to work on himself so he could be a better father. She told him, if you're not going to contribute to the kids, you have no contact with them. Mm. And he was ready to walk. He was shaken by that. He was taken. I said, hold on, bro. Look at this for what it is. It's the enemy trying to, God's got something, this is confirmation that God's got something big for you. The enemy's trying to shake you out of here. He said, yeah, I get you right. 5 minutes later, the phone rang. His ex-wife, Leonard, I don't know why I said all that.
Mm. Change of heart.
I have no idea why I said all that. If you're really working on yourself, if you're really trying to become a better man of God, of course you can talk to your kids.
Good.
Another family brought back to the husband. Leonard and his ex-wife never got back together, but he has been able to be a father for his kids.
Yeah. That's great. Is there another story that you want to share?
I can't think of one right off the top of my head.
All right. What's great about this is that most of the people that come to this ministry are not Christians, right?
Not a lot of us.
And so they become Christians as part of the program.
As they're exposed to the miracles and love, God just lifts them up and he anoints them and he blesses them. And once once people are being blessed by God, they cannot deny His power.
Yes, that's right. You see it firsthand. You learn it from God's Word, and it just has a huge life-changing effect.
Absolutely.
Yes. So I'm sure you've seen a lot of that happening.
Yeah.
How long have you been in this ministry?
I came through as a disciple 17 years ago.
Okay.
I've been a pastor for 14 years.
14 years. Okay. And how long have you been in Paulden?
I've been in Paulden. We opened the church in Paulden 2 years ago.
Okay. And is that also the recovery ministry open at that time?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And so you have several churches in the area that's supporting there. Did you have to go find that yourself? That
Yes,
support?
sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
And that's how it works. How many set free? This set free is it how big of an operation is it?
Set Free is a worldwide, international.
Worldwide. So
Originally started with Pastor Phil Aguilar in Orange County, California.
Where
There's
was
Set Free in Anaheim.
yeah, in Anaheim, and about what year would that be?
82, I believe.
Okay. About 1982 it started,
82 or 83.
and it's already become a worldwide organization.
But there's Set Frees in Ireland and Russia,
As well as
are the farthest reaching ones that I know of.
Yeah.
But they're all up California. They're Set Frees breaking out in Texas, up Tennessee, up the East Coast.
Yeah, and, that's great. So I am assuming that people who are starting these new set free ministries are coming from the program itself.
Yes, sir.
Like yourself.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so they've got the training from the program, and they know they've got the experience that people can relate to, and
Yes, sir.
and it makes it so successful that way, and it attracts people. But it's all word of mouth, right?
Yes. Yes, sir.
Okay, well, I'm glad that you came on the program today because hopefully we'll get a little more attention to what's happening with the Christian ministry in Paulden, and people will know about you, and they probably can support you personally if they want to, right? How do they do that?
Absolutely. They can write me at Set Free Church Paulden at 24824 North State Route 89.
Okay, and we'll put that address and phone number
Or my email is at Arthur Hisey at gmail.com.
Okay, and that'll be on the screen, folks. So you don't have to look for a pencil right this second. It'll be on your screen, and you'll be able to contact Pastor Art. And if you want to support his ministry, which is doing wonderful work out of Paulden, but like you said, they come in, and what big part of Christianity is giving back.
Yes, sir.
To people in need,
Yeah.
which is what you're doing. You're teaching them by example, and they're doing it so they understand this is what Christianity is.
Yes, sir.
I love that because you don't see a lot of churches doing that,
Yeah.
but you're doing that.
Well,
You're showing the love of Christ in the service that you're providing to others.
well, then a lot of folks that are raised in the church look at a guy like me and they get a little intimidated. But if you're standing next to a guy that looks like me, talking to a guy that looks like me,
Right?
you get a little bit more of a assurance.
Yes, there's you can relate to someone who you had the same kind of experiences that you've had better. You just can, no matter what field it is. And so this is a great ministry that you're doing. What did we miss? What do you want to tell us that we didn't talk about?
We're the harvest is large and the workers are few. Like I said, a lot of people don't know. They want to help, but they don't know how to help because the street is a completely different culture than your regular, white picket fence house.
That's right.
Best, do you want to help? Get alongside of a frontline ministry.
Yes.
Set Free, Church on the Street, whoever's barely making it hand to mouth, it's because we're busy doing the work. We're not really out there promoting ourselves.
Yes, that's right. But how many? I forgot to ask you this. How many people can you accommodate in your facility?
Right now in the men's pocket shelter, we can house 12 men in the single wide trailer. We've also been gifted another property out in Seligman. We can build off of that in the future.
If someone has a trailer to donate to this ministry, do you have land to put it on right there?
The church property in Paulden, we have about 3 acres. And the Seligman property, we have another 3 acres.
Okay, so you got plenty of room. You can accept donations of trailers, campers, RVs, right?
Campers, RVs.
If you got a mobile home, you can bring over to set free.
Oh, yes, we would love them.
Stick that there, too. And now, what about water needs? Did you say you had some water needs there?
The property out in Seligman, we have to truck water to the property. And we don't have our own tank or trailer to haul anything with. But
okay, so you could use a water truck, I'm guessing.
Could use water buffalo, yeah.
Yeah, okay, so if you can help this ministry out in any way, make any kind of donation, financial or something that would be of housing or a water truck, anything that they can use, contact Pastor Art and talk to him about his ministry and what you can do to help them there. And now you give us your
talking about donations. I have to go ahead and say we are covered under the Southern Baptist Convention 501c3. So if you do donate, you will get your tax write-off.
Excellent. Tax donations will happen here with those donations as well, and that's good to know.
Yeah.
Now you do have a church, and tell us about the service times there.
Church service is Sunday morning at 10:30 and Wednesday evening at 6:30.
10:30 on Sunday morning, Wednesday evening at 6:30.
Those are the regular church times, but we also have Bible study programs going on throughout the day. One's at 8, one's at 10:30, and I believe another one's at 1.
So
they're simple, basic training Bible studies.
Guys in the program are getting a lot of good Bible training there, which is awesome and excellent. But folks, if you want to go out and be part of, just check out the church maybe and see what the service is like with Pastor Art. It's 10:30 on Sunday mornings. And how do they get there?
You drive out Highway 89 towards Paulden, and you keep going until you see the white church and steeple up on the left-hand side of the road.
Okay, I think that's the only church that's visible from the highway in Paulden.
It's the only one visible from the highway, yes.
In Paulden. Okay, so you just make a left-hand turn there.
If you're going from Prescott Valley, keep driving out 89 till you get to the Paulden area, go past the train tracks, go under the train tracks, and you'll see it over on the left-hand side. Up on the hill, you see our steeple. If you're coming from Ash Fork, when you come down past out of the swiggly turn, it'll be on your right.
Okay. It's a little white church there.
Little white church with blue trim.
And 10:30 on Saturday, Sunday morning for worship service. Come on out if you can and listen to Pastor Art deliver a great sermon. Thank you, brother. I appreciate you coming here and being on the show.
Thanks for having me.
God bless. Bye-bye.